Hi, I'm Justin Dunham
And I'm Alexis Carroll.
for the Cavalier Coaches Corner. Today we welcome back CHS head football coach Doug Pryor for week 6.
Last week you guys had Logan. You won 23-21. Will you take us through how the scoring played out?
Absolutely. So we started out, pretty fast, scored in the first quarter. And then we had an interception that we thought, okay, we were in Logan's territory again, and we thought we could get another quick score and go up a couple scores and start to try to run away with it. But we were stopped on fourth down. Then they ended up putting together a big play when they got the ball back, starting out the second quarter. And so that made it, they ended up scoring a few plays after the long run. And then that made it 7-7. Then they had another big possession and ended up scoring on us and they went for 2 and they were up 15-7. And you talk about a big swing there because, again, we're thinking that we were in great position to try to stretch it out on these guys. And so now we're in a dogfight. So we ended up putting together a beautiful drive right before halftime. And we got the 2-point conversion. But the first touchdown was scored by Chucky Thomas. And then the second touchdown was a sneak by Mason Dowdy. And then Chucky Thomas made a really, really tough run for the 2-point conversion. And that tied it up 15-15, which gave us a lot of momentum going into halftime because Logan received the ball back right before halftime, but they weren't able to score. We were able to get them off the field. Defense played great. Then we started the second half, and we ended up scoring in the fourth quarter with about 5 minutes to go or so, 5 or 6 minutes. Xavier Doss scored on a screen and made some great plays to get into the end zone. And then we ended up getting a 2-point conversion because there was an errant snap. And Mason Dowdy made a heck of a play by rolling out and throwing in the back of the end zone to Isaac McCory. And he made a great catch, and that made it 23-15. So right then we're thinking, okay, now if Logan scores, they've got to go for 2. And so we ended up, we're thinking, we're sitting pretty with that. Well, of course, they have another big long run and get close. They end up scoring and that made it 21-23. Defense made a great play by deflecting the 2-point conversion try, and that made it kept at 23-21. Got the ball back. We weren't really able to really move it. And at that point, that's when it was probably around 4 minutes left in the game at that point when we had to punt on fourth down. And they ended up driving down to somewhere around our 20. It was a pretty, it was one of those situations where they were getting at time 4 and 5 yards a pop, and then we make a stop. And they ended up getting a good pass play down to completing a good pass play down to around the 20. But, defense, I believe it was on second down, made a stop to push them back to like 3rd and 11, because at that point it was like 2nd and 6, and we ended up getting a sack. That made it 3rd and 11, and I believe they threw another incomplete pass, and then on 4th and 11, the quarterback throws it 10 yards. He's a yard short. I don't even know if he was a yard short, to be honest. It seemed like really inches. It was really, really close. Again, great defensive play by our defense and good coverage on the play. And so that ended up, there was like 22 seconds left and we needed the ball and got out of there with a win.
How did you feel during the game with such a tight score?
Well, it was one of those situations where you just think, we just got to execute a little better here and there. Because, even with giving up 3 touchdowns, the defense played really, really great. It was just, we struggled a little bit in our pursuit angles, particularly in the secondary. And, obviously we had to do some things with the front 7 as far as, making sure that, we played discipline with wrong arming. When you play a team like that, they try to trap you like crazy. We're going to get that again against Miami Trace. So we've done a great job in practice this week of working on that. I mean, that's been, our main focus this week when we do our run game, and that's the streak to Miami Trace. So with such a tight score, obviously you're just thinking you can't make mistakes. You got to just keep the guys positive. Just tell them I just kept yelling at our defense on that last drive, and Coach Adams is obviously calling the defensive plays. And I just kept yelling at them, force them into another play. When they got close, force them into another play because eventually, hopefully, you can get them into a situation where they make a mistake. And that's what happened on that second down. That was huge. That sack to get them backed up and off schedule. They couldn't just sit there and just run the ball. That's their bread and butter, is a run game. So.
How did you feel when you saw the pat kick turn into a 2-point conversion?
Oh, man. So, again, I'm looking at for it to be 22-15, and you're thinking, to be honest with you, I'm sitting there really trying to rev the guys up on the sideline, and I basically turned over at the last second, and I see the ball go high. I didn't even see the full snap. I just see the ball go high, and I see Mason run out, and I'm thinking, okay, well, we run this. We prepare for this in practice. Every time we do our PAT and our field goals, we work on, especially with the PAT, we work on this, and they just really put together what Coach Brad Sprague, our special teams coach, does a really great job, and they were prepared for it, and kudos to Mason for stepping in there, making a great throw, and Isaac, it wasn't an easy catch to make, but they just did the things that they're coached to do and executed well on that. And it being, ironically, the difference maker in the game.
Yeah. We need to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll be joined by a couple of student athletes with the CHS football program.
Welcome back to the Chillicothe Coach's Corner. I'm Micah Thompson,
And I'm Alexis Carroll.
and the studio with us is Maxwell Lee and Carter Boltonhouse.
When did you guys start playing football?
I started playing football around second grade.
I started playing whenever I was in 7th grade.
What position did you play for your first ever year?
I think I played offensive guard and linebacker.
I played linebacker and running back.
What positions have you played since then, and where are you now?
I've always been a linebacker and running back.
I've been tight end, left tackle, defensive end, and linebacker. I'm at linebacker and left tackle now.
Which game are you guys most hyped up for?
I'd say probably Jackson again this year.
I'd say Jackson too.
Now for the rapid fire question round. What song pumps you up before the game?
Broad Wave Rags to Riches.
I listen to Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
What's your favorite sports teams?
I like the Browns in Michigan.
Ohio State and the Patriots.
Favorite TV show to watch on game days?
iCarly.
I don't know. I don't really have a favorite to watch.
Would you rather play on turf or grass?
Definitely turf.
I'd say grass if it's well kept.
Yeah.
Funniest person on the team?
Time scales.
I'd say Trevor Banks.
What's your favorite part about Friday night games?
Really just getting to spend time with the team in the locker room. It's always fun in there.
I'd say the same in the fans.
2 words to describe yourself.
Motivated and funny.
Probably strong and athletic.
What is the best part about competing?
I say always just getting to make yourself better.
Yeah, about the same.
Favorite hobby outside of football?
Watching anime.
Probably just laying around doing nothing, being lazy.
Most embarrassing football moment?
My freshman year against Logan, I got trucked.
I got crackbacked against Smith on my freshman year.
Maxwell and Carter, good luck this Friday. Up next, we'll chat with a new member of the coaching staff. Don't go away.
Welcome back to the Chillicothe Coach's Corner. We are now joined by corners and wide receivers coach Ted Montgomery.
This is your first year here. Tell us how you got involved with the coaching staff?
I got involved last year. I got involved with helping out Logan Snowden, and that's how I met Coach Pryor.
Week to week, how do you prepare to help the wide receivers and corners?
We do different drills: blocking, tackling, running routes, just stuff to make them better, so it's repetitious.
What players have stood out to you in terms of growth this season?
The players that really stood out to me is Trey King and Miles Lewis. Just from day one, I've noticed a huge step up from when they first came out to camp. So,
What do you hope to accomplish in your first year with CHS football?
I hope to accomplish to make our players better and make them better people. So.
Coach Montgomery, thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you throughout the season.
We will return and will be joined by Coach Pryor for the look into the Cavaliers matchup with Miami Trades. We're back with head coach Doug Pryor.
You guys play Miami Trace this week. What does their team look like in terms of depth?
They have a lot of depth as far as I would say they're at their skill positions. They play two really good running backs. I mean, the one running back, their starter is their main guy, but their second string tailback can come in and he runs just as hard. Their O-line is tough, big guys up front. D-line wise, they rotate a little bit, but really not too much. Definitely don't rotate their linebackers or their DBs. So, but you don't see like a ton of guys going both ways, particularly with the running back and obviously the quarterback, and even the receivers are mostly going one way. So they're a pretty deep team.
Do you anticipate they are more of a running or passing offense?
Running. I mean, they can pass it, but I mean their bread and butter is running the ball with number 17 and Jaden LeBeau, and he's a very tough runner. He's a 3-year starter, and so they're looking to get him the ball, establish the run, and if you can't stop it, you're in for a long night. But if you can, you'll have some success.
Week to week, how does your game plan change?
Again, it's kind of what I just mentioned, as far as I know defensively, Coach Adams, really the first thing that he tells the team is, one of the first things he tells them is take away their best player. Not anything dirty or anything like that, but just make sure the focus is on their best player and their best, their favorite plays, right? Their favorite formations and that thing. So that's what changes. Some weeks you face a team that, that will, throw the ball around a lot. So that kind of changes your defensive philosophy. And then on the offensive side of the ball, it all depends on, we always look at what their coverages are. That affects our passing game and which routes we think we can run the best on them. And then we look at their fronts because that changes up our blocking scheme. And there's not a whole, nobody's really reinventing the wheel when it comes to defensive fronts necessarily or coverages, but there's some fronts that you like to go against better than others because it puts you, it allows you more flexibility in what you can call offensively. And the same would be with the, defensive coverages as well. So that's what, it all depends. Every team's different. Some teams like to play you man coverage, and then you're thinking, okay, well, maybe we can run by some people. And some people like to sit back and play more conservative and think, okay, now we're going to have to kind of hit the underneath routes this week a lot. And then some people are blitz crazy, and, you think, maybe some things will hit on the outside more, and you really, work with your O-lineman to be able to pick up the blitz because, they're going to be attacked every time the quarterback drops back. So those are the situations you're in. That's how, the plan changes week to week. You just got to be really versatile. At this point in the season, after getting through the first half of the season, you've seen a lot of different looks from people on the offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the ball. So really helps.
Coach Pryor, thank you for your time and good luck this Friday. That'll do it for this week for Chillicothe's Cavaliers Coaches Corner. I'm Justin Dunham.
And I'm Alexis Carroll.
Until next time.
Thank you. Go Cavs.